It's definitely a squish brain kind of day. Cannot wait to read it. And then, oh, it's right here. What do you know? I only need to read 12 more books to fill up this entire page. I was feeling real optimistic when I put this on here. Once I've seen how you're moving. She is insufferable. She is unbearable. She is wildly annoying. Oh my God, it's so good. Do I recommend? All that I needed with my morning tea was some more pumpkin bread. First of all, this cup is so cute. Hopefully you guys can see it. This is so cute. I know most of you have moved on to Christmas, but I'm not quite there yet. I am gonna put the Christmas tree up the week of Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm just not there yet. I'm still very much pumpkin mode, you know? And so I just still wanted to do just like a little cozy vlog before we get into all like the Christmas stuff. Anyway, I got new books. I'm so excited. So I am going to open up these and show you guys what I got. But first, I know you guys were probably like, girl, why are you still celebrating your birthday? So I was fasting in October, so I did not get to celebrate my birthday. I was like, no, don't take me out to eat. She kept saying, let me take you out, let me take you out. And I was like, no, let's just wait and go after the fast. And so that's why we did it in November. I kept being busy. And yeah, so we finally just got to celebrate my birthday. I am not one of those people who just do like this month-long thing. Don't think that. It's just like a delayed celebration. And it was really nice and it was really fun. But while I was there, I did get myself my Jo Malone. So I do have at least 3 scents, maybe even 4 that I love from them. But my favorite for like the fall, winter is the wood, sage, and sea salt. Smells so good. And my mom actually bought me this like 2 years ago for my birthday. It has the year I was born engraved on it and my initials on the top. And so I was like, you know what? Let me treat myself to this. And I got myself some new running shoes. I cannot wait to use them. It's so pretty. I don't even want to open it. Oh my God. I decided not to get engraving because I'm literally just going to swap out the tops. There you go. Let's get some now. It just smells so clean and fresh and beautiful and subtle and oh, I'm here for it. I love this stuff so much. But anyway, let's talk about some books. I don't really read a lot of holiday books. I read my first ever Christmas book last year, ever in life. Obviously, I read kids' Christmas books, but as far as like an adult Christmas book, I just don't read them. I read it and I'll pop a picture on the screen. I can't think of it right now. I loved it so much. And so the same author has another book coming out this year. Cannot wait to read it. And then, oh, it's right here. What do you know? It's The Christmas Catch by Toni Shiloh. Let me see if the name of her other book is on here. Okay, so the name of the other book was You Make It Feel Like Christmas. That was such a cute little wholesome, no spice Christian romance book. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same. And it's second chance. I love a second chance romance. So very excited. Oh, and I just saw, I love books with text messaging. There's a couple little text message correspondence in here. This is cute. Like I said, I have not given up on fall and Thanksgiving and all of that just yet. Hold on, I'm gonna catch up. I'll be there with you in a moment. For now, I did go ahead and order What a Match. This is by Mimi Grace. I have not read a book by her, but I have heard really good things about her books. This was actually on my fall TBR last year, but I never bought the book. So I was like, you know what? Let me at least buy the book this year. I hope I can get to this before the end of the month. Maybe we'll even read read it in this vlog, but I don't know because I'm reading something else and I'm completely enthralled. I'm captivated. So we will see. The next one is called Three Women by Lisa Tadeo. I hope that's how you say the name. I have heard phenomenal things about this TV show and the book. I don't even remember what this is about, but I believe it's inspired by a true story. I'm not sure. Let me see. Yep. Somebody said this is an extraordinary nonfiction literary masterpiece. If you know my reading taste, you know that I need to read books like that. If you're describing it like that, I'm gonna like eat this up. So I want to read the book before I watch the TV show. So that's why I went ahead and got that. Next up we have, oh yeah, this was on sale. It was just like such a random buy. I was like, oh, it sounds cute. It sounds fun. It sounds different. I might get to this year. I might not. But the name of this one is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. Very cute, very fun cover. I know it's following some twin sisters and they're gonna like switch lives. It says something about like, it's like Gilmore Girls meets The Parent Trap meets Cake Wars. In other words, it's perfect. So that's like cute. And then someone else said it feels like a Great British Bake Off meets Gilmore Girls. Sometimes that whole Gilmore Girls, you know, comparison can be like a lot. So we'll see. Taylor Jenkins Reid blurbed it. She says it's a pitch perfect romance with just the right amount of Christmas cheer. I couldn't stop from smiling. If TJR liked it, maybe I'll like it. Next, we have My Dark Vanessa. So this was actually one of the books on my 24 for 2024. And I actually have the audio copy. I got the audio copy last year. It was marked down on Audible. I got it for like $4 or $5. I'm so nervous to read this book because I feel like it's gonna be so sad. I feel like this might be one of those books that when I'm pulled away from it physically, I'm still gonna wanna listen to it. So I'm probably gonna do this experience in tandem. So we got My Dark Vanessa. Last but not least, oh yes, I forgot that I bought this. Okay, so this I actually read. I read it last year and I wanted to do a reread of it. And it is One Day in December by, is it Josie or Jesse? Josie Silver. Okay, I know people have mixed reviews on this book. I was one of the people. I liked it, but I feel like I need to read it again. Some of the things I had an issue with, I just want to read it again and see if I still have an issue with those, because overall, I did like the book. Last year, I think I gave it like a 3.5, but I feel like it could be like a solid 4-star. That's why I want to read it again. I don't really like the physical copy of it though. It feels very tight and stiff and it's bright white. I kind of hate bright white pages, but it's okay. I'm going to read it again. Hopefully, I'm able to bump it from the 3.5 to the 4, but if not, 3.5 books are so good. Last but not least, I got this little Christmas book for Justice. Oh my god, they had this on sale too. I forgot for how much, and I like that it's only a few words per page, because after a while her attention span is like, Mom, what are you talking about? And so this is like perfect if you have a little one, or if you have a child with autism spectrum disorder like me. This might be a little good book for you to try. So hopefully she likes it. Oh, and it's the perfect bedtime book, so it's like a little bedtime story. Good night, Santa. I hope she likes it. So freaking cute in here. Almost as cute as me. I went to Target for 3 things and I ended up spending $130. I absolutely hate it in there. Well, I love it, but I just hate how it tells me what to buy when I get in there. Absolutely crazy. But anyway, there's one thing I got that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. Isn't she beautiful? So it was definitely the sprayed edges for me. The book was like by the checkout, so that's how they got me. And I was like, oh, it has sprayed edges. I'm like a sucker for sprayed edges. So I was like, I have to have it. And then, oh my gosh, the inside cover, stop it. How cute is that? And then the hardcover itself, stop it. So this book has actually been on my TBR for 2 years, and my friend gave me access to the audiobook. Now that I have the physical copy, I think it will force me to read the book because I do try to prioritize the books that I own physically. And while we are on the topic of goals and physical TBR and all of that jazz, I thought that we would do a little journal. What is this? My reading journal update, okay? I am not even gonna lie, I have neglected this journal. Girl, there's no excuse for this page to be blank. Not a single book has been shaded in. And I hit over 100 books read this year as of like that first week in November, which is crazy. I never thought that I could read that many books in a year. My goal was to actually read 52. I'm thinking like, yeah, a book a week, that should be fine. That seems attainable. It was actually one of you guys who left a comment under the video like, Joyce, I think you're gonna hit 100 books this year. And I was like, yeah, no way. Who has time to read 100 books? Clearly I had time to read 100 books. And so yeah, this looks really bad, but I'm pretty sure I could fill this entire thing up. Then I have my series tracker page. I have The Hunger Games on here, read the entire series, loved it, ate it up, highly recommend. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, read it, recommend. The Housemaid, I still have not read that 3rd book, so I do need to prioritize that and read that before the end of the year. Shatter Me is on here. I have not started it. I am nervous to start it because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, and I just feel like, dang, that's a major commitment, so I don't know about that one anymore. Divine Rivals, I did read and finish. Loved. Oh, love the first book, 5 stars. The second book, it was good. It was a great conclusion to the series, but I did not love the second book as much as I loved the first book. Throne of Glass. I know you lying. I was feeling real optimistic when I put this on here. Yeah, and I think that's okay. I feel like it's fine. We make goals at the beginning of the year, and then as the year goes on, some things are just not as important to you anymore as they were, and that's fine. We're constantly growing, shifting, changing, so whatever. I do still want to try a Sarah J. Maas book, and I was torn between Throne of Glass and then her other really popular series, ACOTAR. So you guys let me know. I might have enough time to try Shatter Me or Throne of Glass before the end of the year, but I will not be doing both. So let me know if you've read either of those and which one I should give a try. And if I don't get to try it before the end of the year, we'll just push it back to 2025. The Inheritance Game, I did read book 1. I will not be continuing on the series. I thought book 1 was fine. It was a good time, but not enough for me to want to continue the series. And then last but not least, we have Fourth Wing. And I have Iron Flame. I bought it as soon as it came out. Actually pre-ordered that book. Still have not read it. So I do want to prioritize that before the end of the year. And depending on how I feel about this book, it will let me know if I want to finish out the series. Plus, I have read more series that I do need to add here on this side. Then I have my list of 24 for 2024. Child, I have not shaded any of these in, but I have read some of these books and I've actually enjoyed them. Some of these books I have no interest in reading anymore. A couple of them I started, didn't like the vibe, DNF did. So yeah, I do need to look at this and update this. My reading goals for the year was to read 52 books, which I did. Read a series, which I did. Read a sci-fi book, which I did. Read a dark romance. I wanted to try a dark romance, but now I just feel like whatever, it's not that deep, it's not that big of a deal. So I think I'm going to just move that to 2025. Read 12 nonfiction books. I am not gonna sit here and lie and say that I have read that many nonfiction books. Nonfiction was actually my primary genre for a long time. I don't know, I've just fallen in love with fiction again and I love that for me. And so I haven't read 12, but I have read some. So I do have a page, the books that I wanted to read this year. And looking over this list, honestly, I think I've only read 3. That's terrible. But it is nonfiction November, so I might try to squeeze in 2 more books. And then I also wanted to read 1 translated book, which I did. I've read more than 1, so that's cool. Prioritize my physical TBR. I have loved doing that. I have read so many books off my physical TBR, and I love that for me. So I'm actually gonna count and see how many, and then I'll let you guys know in the next TBR takedown video we do, because I do at least least want to do 1 or 2 more before the year ends and reread a book. So for this one, I'm either going to do To Kill a Mockingbird, or I'm going to reread This Could Be Us by Kennedy Bryan. That was my first ever 6-star read, and I just want to read it again before the year is out just to see if I'm going to feel the same way about that book. So one of those 2 books I will reread before the year is over. And then this page was actually just my anticipated releases for the year. I would say that The Christmas Catch by Toni Shiloh, once I heard this was coming out, I was very excited to get to this because, like I said already, I really did love that first romance book that I read by her. That was my intro to Christmas romance books, and I really, really enjoyed it. I did get to read a lot of these as I'm looking through. Some of them were bangers, some of them were 5 stars. 6 that I have not read. 1 that I will not be reading, which is The Divorcees by Rowan Beard. When I read the synopsis, it sounded really good. It sounded like something that I would vibe with. These women are going through a divorce, or they're newly divorced, something like that, and they have to live on a ranch together. So clearly we're going to get to see like people navigating divorce, people navigating female friendships. But the reviews were not the greatest, and I know I still want to read it and formulate my own opinions, but because the reviews were so meh, I just don't see the rush to get to it. The only other one I'm kind of like, I don't know, is So Let Them Burn. I loved the cover of that book. I do still have it on my physical TBR, so I need to read it or I need to give it away. Like, something's got to give. Like, it's a Jamaican inspired fantasy, and that sold me, just that alone, and then the cover. But realistically, I don't read a lot of fantasy. Everything else on here I am going to read. Nonetheless, this clearly is terrible. I clearly have not been prioritizing this. I am actually in the middle of listening to this book called Liars by Sarah Manguso. It is a very enraging read. It's very sad. I'm going to pop on my headphones and then we will probably finish reading that book because I am reading this book physically. This book is so good, but I'm reading it so slow. I mean, I'm only 60 pages or 50 pages in. You should see the amount of annotating. It's absolutely ridiculous. The book is just giving me 5-star energy. So much so, I have started a page here where I'm listing different character traits and different things I like about the individual sisters. Like, this is literally the best prologue that I have ever read. And I wrote that, best prologue I've ever read. And so I just feel like I was going to read this book with you guys because I'm like, oh, I want this documented. This is so good. I don't want to rush the experience. I think I am about to eat this book up and leave no crumbs. So I was like, you know what? I'll just invite you guys in on my audiobook experience. Liars is one of my anticipated release books for 2024, and you have 2 main characters, Jane and John. They are husband and wife, and Jane is struggling with her artistry. She's an aspiring writer while being a wife and being a mother, and so obviously if you are a wife and a mother, you will have some level of feeling seen while reading this book. John is an entire douchebag. He's a gaslighter, a narcissist, a manipulator, but it obviously does not start that way, and even she doesn't realize that's what's happening to her, which is why you feel so enraged, which is why you feel so sad. And she is trying to navigate her new purpose as a wife and as a mother while pretty much suffering grief and loss of her own identity and her own artistry. She basically starts going through some really tough times, really, really sad, tough times. And you would think he would be there for her a lot more, and he isn't. He's off taking these trips. He's like a filmmaker. Child, John is a lot. And then he has the audacity. He has the audacity to leave her. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. It's just like, are you kidding me? And she's so mad because she's like, I didn't even want to be a wife. And like I said, he presents himself so differently in the beginning. And then she ends up falling for him, becoming a wife, finding her way in this role, trying to make what she does valid by being at home and making less money, all for him to end up leaving her. So you're just so mad and you're just so frustrated and you're annoyed. I think people, if you read My Year of Rest and Relaxation, they would like this book. I read that book. I actually loved the writing style. I cannot lie. I loved the writing style. I loved the concept. It was just like a bit repetitive. This book is the same way. There are moments where it has to be repetitive to really drive home the point that her husband is a narcissist and that he is taking advantage, he is manipulating. So I understand why it has to have that repetitive feel, but then there are times where I feel like we don't need to keep repeating this. We already got it, baby. Let's keep it rolling. So yeah, I have about an hour left of listening time, so I am going to pop on the headphones, probably have some lunch, and then just try and update this. So let's talk my 24 for 2024 because I think I'm gonna swap some of these out. So I did get to read Get Good with Money, but it's actually not done. So it's actually right here with my Bible, and I was being very intentional. So like it's a lot of action driven steps, and so I would read and then apply, read and then apply. Then I got to a step where I'm like, okay, I really need to sit with this, so I didn't finish it, but that's fine. I'm gonna keep reading it and keep applying what I learned. Then we have Chain Gang All Stars. I did read that. I did read Memphis. The next one says Rosie Project, Messy Lives of Book People. I have not read, and I don't think I'm gonna get to. The Bell Jar, let's go ahead and prioritize that. Good Girl, Bad Blood, read it. Here we have Dear Edward. So I ended up reading a different book by this author, Ann Napolitano. So I think I'm gonna roll this over to 2025. When It Falls Apart, I am no longer interested in. So I'm actually gonna swap this out for another book that I wanna read by the end of the year. What else do we have here? What the Heart Wants. I do still want to get to that, but we'll see. Queen's Gambit. I think this is another one I'm no longer interested in reading. I think I'm just going to watch the show, and then I'm just going to go ahead and change this out to something else before the end of the year. What else we got here? Clearly, I haven't read any of these. Oh, I did read How to Stay Married, but what I noticed is I put the same book twice, which is fine because on this page it's actually 25 books, not 24. So I'll probably just color this one in just for aesthetics. Be Not Afraid to Love. I definitely still want to read. My Dark Vanessa, I will prioritize before the end of the year. Sweet Sin. This was that dark romance I wanted to try, but now we are not going to read that this year. The Coworker. So Frida came out with a few other books this year, which I prioritized instead of this. So I think I'm just going to change this and put like the Housemaid book and try to prioritize that before the end of the year. And then our last section, In the Dark. I could actually read that in this vlog with you guys, but I have to see with the sake of time. Eleanor Oliphant. Love this book, ate it up. A Heart That Works, I definitely still want to get to. One of the Good Ones, I read it. I enjoyed that book. And then what else do we have here? How to Walk Away. I'm not going to get to that, but I do still want to read it. And then All the Lonely People. I actually just finally bought the physical copy of this book like 2 months ago in a haul. And so yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to it, but that's okay. So yay, I'm just excited. We're making progress here. Now that we have more pumpkin bread, look at it. Oh my God, it's so good. This is actually like a copycat recipe of like the pumpkin pepita loaf from Starbucks. It's so dang on good. And then I paired it with some decaf coffee with pumpkin spice creamer by, what is it, Califia? Listen, the almond one. This is so good. But anyway, we are not here to talk about bread. We are here to talk about books. So I feel so inspired to read another book off my physical TBR once I saw just how close I was to filling up this book tracker page. Like, I honestly, when my husband did this, I told him to do like 52. And then when I seen it, I'm like, husband, this is way more than 52. And then I was like, there's no way I can read that many books. Ciao. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I only need to read 12 more books to fill up this entire page. I am so glad I did not track this earlier because this would have applied pressure for me to read this many books. But now that I'm just like, oh, let me just see how many I filled in, and I see that it's so attainable, now I want to hit that goal. So I picked another book off the shelf. This is Don't Let Her Stay by Nicola Sanders. And I picked this one because it's been on my TBR since last year. I put this on my fall TBR in, what year is this? 24, so 2023. Did not get to it. So I was like, you know what? Let me get to this. It's small, it's quick. I can read this with my book friends, the book babes. Let me give you a quick little synopsis. You have two main characters, Joanne and Richard, and they have this wonderful life together. They live in this beautiful home. She is a gardener and all these different people that assist with helping her live like a nice, easygoing life. Richard, he had a previous family, but the ex-wife, can I say that? He basically had an ex-wife and another child with his ex-wife. Chloe is her name. Little Miss Chloe is gonna come and stay with Joanne and Richard. And let me tell you guys, I am a very compassionate person. I am wildly understanding and I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But once you have shown me, once I've seen how you're moving, and I seen everything I needed to see. That's what Chloe's giving. She's insane. She is insufferable. She is unbearable. She is wildly annoying and childish. And I cannot believe that Joanne agreed to let this disrespectful young lady stay at her house. And then Richard, like, bro, stand up for your wife. I'm compassionate and all, but I promise you, I would have had to leave him. I just never loved anybody that much where I'm gonna take this level of abuse. Okay, Chloe is a manipulating narcissist. She's definitely a psychopath. She's a liar. She's just, ugh. She is a lot to read about. And I know that's why a lot of people did not like the books. A lot of people DNF the book. I completely understand it. I see why. This book reminds me so much. No. That was the last book. I forgot. Now I'm getting the books mixed up because I did finish Liars, and that book reminded me a lot of my year of rest and relaxation. But back to this crap. Okay, the book is not crap itself. It's very easy to read, easy to follow, easy to digest. I see why they say it's unputdownable. You are just so mesmerized by how this is going to play out because this daughter is awful. And she had the audacity to allow this girl to babysit her daughter. Like, clearly she cannot be trusted with a child. Are you kidding me? So you get very mad. This is another enraging read. Like, why would you leave your daughter with her, Joanne? Like, come on, stand up for yourself. Grow a backbone, sis. And it's so funny. I don't know why, but a little bit of this book reminds me actually of The Housemaid, because Millie was kind of like, you know, ditzy and like ignoring red flags. And she kind of reminds me of Joanna, where it's like, you know, this stuff is happening and other people are just trying to make you look crazy. And so obviously Housemaids was way more fun, way more thrilling. It's just a true psychological thriller. So it's really suspenseful, very mysterious, very creepy. And I am having a good time. Only because it's just so outlandish, like, and it's so strange. But again, I get why people hate it, because she is absolutely insufferable to read about. Not gonna lie, that was a good little surprise. I didn't see that coming. And let me tell you something real quick, because Richard, he be giving me creepy vibes too. Like, he's trying to be portrayed as this perfect guy, but he's a liar. Like, he hides a lot of information from Joanne, and I don't like that. I don't think he's trustworthy, and he just really lets his daughter be very disrespectful to his wife. And I cannot believe that. Like, I promise you, reading this book, you want to square up with Chloe. I promise you. You like, hold on. Don't come for Joanne like this. I do wish that there was a little bit something else going on alongside this insufferable daughter. It's like, literally, that just consumes the entire plot. So like I said, I get why people didn't like it, but I am so intrigued to know how this is going to turn out. There is a lot of stuff going on in Richard's past that is being revealed, which is keeping me interested. But other than that, Chloe is just such a bad, annoying, disrespectful little girl. And little girl, like, how old is she? I know you lying. 22? She be running in the room like, Daddy's home. And I'm just like, girl, grow up. She's weird, he's weird. I want to feel bad for Joanne. At first I did. But now I'm just like, baby, you need to get Evie, because they have a daughter together, little Evie. And y'all need to go. Get a hotel, go to your sister's house, your mama's house, or something. Like, if he want to side with Chloe and be this disrespectful to you, then baby, let him go. Let him go. Oh my God. This is so entertaining. The plot twist. It's plot twisting. I understand why it's unputdownable now. At this point, I need to finish this book. Something does not seem right in regards to this plot twist. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just makes me feel like another plot twist is coming. I guess we're just gonna keep reading to see. It's definitely a squish rain kind of day. So I did finish Liars, but I'm not going to talk about that book here. I'm actually just gonna save that for like a wrap up that I'm gonna do for books for October and November, but I did give you guys enough information to know if it's a book that you want to pick up or not. I did also finish Don't Let Her Stay. This was my intro to Nicola Sanders, and there's actually a new book that came out by this author. I did download it on Libro FM, so I wanted to read what I had on the shelf first to see if I would even vibe with the writing style. Could this have been better? Absolutely. Do I recommend? So I'm gonna hit you with the rating for this. I gave this a 3.5 star because it was intriguing. It did keep me wanting to read. It's just like, I wish a little bit more was going on. I did predict the plot twist, which was fine. That main character, Chloe, was very insufferable to read about. She was so annoying, conniving, and sneaky, and just, oh, like if those types of characters drive you nuts, you will not enjoy this book. This book was very irritating. I will say that, but it was still a good time. It's not a whole bunch of like fun twisty moments. It can even get a little bit boring after a while because you really are just following this couple as they let his stepdaughter move in, be around their young infant, which I do not agree with. And she's pretty much just like stressing Joanne out, and it's so sad. I wish that there was a little bit more going on in the plot, just a little bit, and it could have got a higher rating, but I still had a good time. I did. I had a good time. I'm glad I got it off the shelf. I get to shade in another book. I'm so excited about that. But yeah, that is it. I am so happy to get another book off the shelf. I really have enjoyed prioritizing my physical TBR. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed spending the week with me. There was so much other stuff going on this week. This was such a crazy week. And yeah, I'm just glad I got to bring you guys along for a little bitty snippet. Do not forget to prioritize self-care, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.